Shalom, shalom, Shabbat shalom. First and foremost, all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rechak Wadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well. Peace and salutations unto all the Akim, you brothers preaching this word in truth and in sincerity across the four corners of the earth. And shalom unto the hopeful elect, you sincere believers scattered wherever you may be. Title of this one today, Lord willing, is going to be Don't Bow the Knee. Don't bow the knee. And I wanted to grab back in the book of Esther, which I had done, did a video on Esther, or concerning the book of Esther last week. And was getting into the book, or the editions of Esther, which inspired this video. And I just wanted to basically make the parallel between the righteous account of Mordecai not bowing the knee, and how we got to be in the same frame in these times, you know what I'm saying? Comparing it to these times when Esau Edom rolls out the MOTB, you know, and not bowing the knee to his image, you know, not giving in. So real quick, I wanted to grab the book of Romans 15:4 to kick it off. It says, Romans 15:4, for whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. All right, in the NLT, it reads, such things were written in the scriptures long ago to teach us, and the scriptures give us hope and encouragement as we wait patiently for the Most High's promises to be fulfilled. And that's the thing. His word is going to come to pass. Whatever the Lord have said has been done, is in a process of being done, or will be done. You know, his word is true. He's not a man that he should lie. And, you know, these different stories, accounts, records, all these things is for our learning and to build us up, man. Give us that comfort, give us hope, increases our faith. All right, so let's go to, actually, before I found this on, I did a search because I was trying to get this in the GNT, but I don't believe, or at least I haven't seen a GNT version of the editions of Esther. But this was something similar I found on the web, ebible.org. And I'll grab basically it looks like a prologue or like a cover letter almost. But it says additions to Esther. So it says the Greek version of Esther found in the Septuagint contains 6 editions not found in the Hebrew version of Esther that is in most Bibles. These editions of Esther consist of a prologue, prayers by Mordecai and Esther, and the text of the decrees from King Ahasuerus, it's like amplifications to and elaborations of the narrative and a postscript. In the Wycliffe Bible and the first edition of the King James Bible, these additions to Esther are included, but are placed at the end of the Hebrew version of Esther, beginning with verse 4 of chapter 10 and concluding in chapter 16. The format is followed here, but in addition, the place where each passage occurs in the Greek version of Esther and where it belongs in the Hebrew version of Esther is indicated at the beginning of each section. Each section in parentheses. Modern translations of the Apocrypha, such as the New English Bible and the Good News Bible, print the entire Greek version of Esther with these additions clearly marked. Also in the Greek version of Esther, the names of several of the principles are spelled differently in order to avoid confusion and to aid comprehension. Here they have been changed to the Hebrew names. And so basically explain it a little bit. So I'm gonna jump to chapter 13, going into the prayer of Mordecai. And it says in parentheses, in the Hebrew Esther, these 7 verses would also follow verse, these 7 verses. Yeah, these 7 verses will also follow verse 13 of chapter 3. So, 1 through 7. And then the verses 8 through 19 follow verse 17 of chapter 4. In the Hebrew Esther, these 11 verses will also follow verse 17 of chapter 4. Yeah, and that's essentially what I wanted. So we're going to start there. And actually, let's get the backdrop. So in the book of Esther, chapter 4. Okay, so bear with me. So let's go there. The book of Esther, chapter 4, in verse 17, just to give the backdrop. God. So this is when essentially Mordecai broke the news to via Hatak to Esther. So it says, I'll start at 7, and I'm going to jump down. Esther 4 and 7. And Mordecai told him of all that had happened unto him, and of the sum of the money that Haman had promised to pay to the king's treasuries for the Jews to destroy them. Also, he gave him the copy of the writing of the decree that was given at Shushan to destroy them, to show it unto Esther, and to declare it unto her, and to charge her that she should go in unto the king to make supplication unto him, and to make requests before him for her people. And all this stemmed from, let's go back to Esther 3 and verse 4. It says, Now it came to pass when they spake daily unto him, and he hearkened not unto them, that they told Haman to see whether Mordecai's matters would stand, for he had told them that he was a Jew. And when Haman saw that Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence, then was Haman full of wrath. And this wicked Haman, he's just a man, you know. He's just a man. We're not to be bowing before any man. All right, just how Esau Edom is going to come with that great wrath. He's going to expect people to for people to bow down the knee to him. You know, but us as Israelites, with us being a hopeful elect, we can't give in. You know, so it says, and it says, verse 6, and he thought scorn to lay hands on Mordecai alone, for they had showed him the people of Mordecai. Wherefore Haman sought to destroy all the Jews that were throughout the whole kingdom of Ahasuerus, even the people of Mordecai. And then they chose a date. But let me go back. Esther 4 and 15. All right, so this is Esther's response to what had happened. All right, it says, Then Esther bade them return Mordecai this answer. So she sent this reply over to Mordecai. Esther 4 and 16. Go gather together all the Jews that are present in Shushan, and fast ye from me, and neither eat nor drink 3 days, night or day. I also and my maidens will fast likewise. So they did a dry fast. It says, And so will I go in unto the king, which is not according to the law, and if I perish, I perish. And this alone as well is a great example of an elect lady, and really of just a Israelite with integrity. You see, she had the mindset to, essentially put her life on the line for Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, for the sake of her people. You know, they said, what greater love? Let me grab it. Let me grab it. Bear with me. Yeah, John 15:13. Greater love hath no man than this, that a man laid down his life for his friends. All right, Yahweh Shai, being a prime example. So in turn, man, we have to give our life over to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, becoming that living sacrifice. And that's the thing, man. Coming into this truth, got to count the cost, and that cost is being our lives. And it may very well, within this walk, lead up to that point to where you're gonna have to give up your life if you're put in that lot. And if that's the case, so be it. This is what we have to prepare for mentally, spiritually, that we may have to give up our lives, for the sake of serving Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And so be it, because this place isn't our rest, and we're looking for the kingdom to come. But let me go back, Esther 4:17. So it says, so Mordecai went his way and did according to all that Esther had commanded him. All right, so let me go to the additions of Esther. So this is what would follow after chapter 4 and verse 17. And I'll get this in the KJV. Bear with me. Additions. Or was that? Was that 13? God. So it really would be here, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. So additions to Esther chapter 4 and verse 8. All right. So it says, then Mordecaius, which would be Mordecai, is the same name like we have read. Yeah, okay. So additions to Esther chapter 4 and verse 8, it says, I'll read it verbatim. It says, then Mordecaius, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, Salakia, then Mordecaius thought upon all the works of the Lord and made his prayer unto him, saying, O Lord, Lord, the King Almighty, for the whole world is in thy power, and if thou hast appointed to save Israel, there is no man that could gainsay thee. And that's the thing. The Lord have already set up. Now I don't want to get ahead of myself, but let's grab this. Romans 11:4. Romans 11:4 says, but what saith the answer of the Most High unto him? I have reserved to myself 7,000 men who have not bowed the knee to the image of Baal. Even so then, at this present time, also there is a remnant according to the election of grace. So the Lord have already chosen those who are not going to bow the knee, all right, to Esau, Edom, his image, anything that he may come with in this time. And the main thing being an MOTB, linking with that beast system. You see? And he is already predetermined, he is already appointed to save these particular men, women and children, the elect. And they're not going to be able to gainsay that. Esau Edom is not going to be able to prolong his kingdom. Though he may think so with the pride of his heart, he's puffed up. But they have bounds that they cannot pass. The Lord put an expiration date on his kingdom. And only Yahweh truly knows that time, but we know we're very close to the end, given the times where we're at in prophecy. All right, given all the things that are happening right now within this world. And no man or woman, for that matter, has could say anything against that, man, because it's the truth. All right, that the elect are going to be saved. The elect are going to be saved. All right, primarily in America, but the four corners, and the wicked to be punished and destroyed. You see? And the whole world is in the hands of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. See, the earth was given unto the hand unto the wicked. All right, Job 9:24. But the Lord ultimately is in full control. All right. So addition to Esther 4:10, it says, "For thou hast made heaven and earth and all the wondrous things under the heaven. Thou art Lord of all things. And there is no man that can resist thee, which art the Lord. Thou knowest all things, and thou knowest, Lord, that it was neither in contempt nor pride, nor for any desire of glory, that I did not bow down to proud Ammon." Which Ammon is Haman, you know, to put in perspective. So he ain't bowed down to that proud, wicked Haman. And let me grab this back in this e-Bible. It says, to put it in like modern translation, it was at verse 12. It says, "Thou knowest all things, and knowest that not for pride and spite, neither for any covetousness of vainglory I did this thing, that I worship not Haman the most proud man." So he didn't do it to for any flattery, right? For any type of vainglory, for any type of status. Nah, he he wholeheartedly was thinking about Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. He's thinking about the Lord. It says, "For I could have been content with good will for the salvation of Israel, to kiss the soles of his feet. But I did this, that I might not prefer the glory of man above the glory of the Most High." You see, so he considered, man. And this is what we have to do. And even now, consider. All right, and really we shouldn't be worshiping anybody, anything, for that matter, other than Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. We're to be worshiping Yahweh Bashem Yahushai in truth and in deed only, putting no other gods above him. All right, that first commandment. So it says, "Neither will I worship any but thee, O power, neither will I do it in pride." And what does it say here? It says, verse 14, in this version, it says, "But I dreaded lest I should bear over to a man or to man the honor of my power, and lest I should worship any man except my power." Continuing on back in the KJV, additions to Esther 4:15, "And now, O Lord, power and King, spare thy people, for their eyes are upon us to bring us to naught. Yea, they desire to destroy the inheritance that have been thine from the beginning. Despise not the portion which thou hast delivered out of Egypt for thine own self." And let me grab this to back that up, because we're his portion, the Israelites. And starting with the elect, Jeremiah 51:19, "The portion of Jacob," whose Jacob's name was changed unto Israel. All right, Jacob representing the 12 tribes. It says, "Is not like them, for he is the former of all things, and Israel is the rod of his inheritance. The Lord Yahweh of hosts is his name." And NLT, it reads, "But the power of Israel is no idol. He is the creator of everything that exists, including his people, his own special possession. The Lord Yahweh of heaven's armies is his name." You see, and what Esau Edom wants to do via that micro C-hip is possess Israel, to keep tabs on Israel. To basically, they want us to denounce our power, you see. And it's gruesome judgment for our people who do take that, or just anyone who takes that micro C-hip, death and destruction onto them. That sore, all right, and nuclear or heavenly fire via the Lord and his chariots, That's the judgment. You see? Let me go back. It says, and this is mighty, man. Mighty prayer that Mordecai had prayed. No shit, man. And that's the thing, man. That's another important thing. I always like to bring up that prayer, right? The communication we have between Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So it says, verse 17, hear my prayer and be merciful unto thine inheritance. Turn our sorrow into joy, that we may live, O Lord, and praise thy name, and destroy not the mouths of them that praise thee, O Lord. All Israel in like manner cried most earnestly unto the Lord, because their death was before their eyes. And in the end, what? The Lord made it to where he had favor upon us, and we were able to fight back those nations that were trying to come against us, and the Lord gave us the victory. You see, and Mordecai, and Esther for that matter, trusted in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, right? Linking up with that Sirach, was that 2 and 10? All right, who have ever trusted in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai was confounded, you know? So we got to trust in the Lord all the way to the end, man. No matter what Esau, Edom's judgment they may try to put upon you, have faith in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai that he's going to deliver you out of that judgment. Right? Because at the end of the day, it's his will being played out regardless. Right? And as long as you're serving Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, he's going to keep you, man. In sincerity, you know, you keeping that integrity, not folding, not bowing the knee, not giving in to Esau, Edom, and his mark. Right? Not giving up your crown. You're holding on to your crown, having faith. Amen. Even if we get put to death, we're going to be the first ones on them chariots, Lord willing. You know? So that's the mind frame you got to have, man. Just strive for the truth unto death. So let me, I'll end off with this. It's a Sirach 4 and 28. It says, strive for the truth unto death, and the Lord shall fight for thee. You know? So that's the thing, man. Keep the faith, keep pushing, keep striving, and don't bow the knee. You know, when that is presented unto you, because that test is going to come upon us all. All right, but we got to hold firm, hold fast, keep the faith in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and that's it, man. That kingdom is on its way. Because once that micro C-hip gets presented, like the apostles just mentioned, hey, everything's going to be moving fast. Everything's going to be moving fast, and you'll know that the kingdom is right there, right for the reaching. All right? and people are going to be knowing, hey, there have been a prophet among them. And these nations are going to see the salvation of the ones that they held in disgust, you know, his chosen, the elect, and then the whole nation in the kingdom, the whole nation of Israel. So with that, hey, Lord willing, this was edifying and exhorting unto you. Again, giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'Hashem Yahushai, Ba'Hashem Rachak Wadash. Double honors given to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Wa Kwam Yasharala Wa Abba Babal. Soon.